everyone! New tutorial about how to use the liner brush. And I'm smiling because I already know that some of you are afraid to use this brush, and some of you always tell that this brush is very difficult to use. So I told to myself, okay, you have to do a new tutorial about how to use the liner brush, because we don't have to be scared of this brush. I mean, this is just a brush, and we need to use it as well as all the other brushes that we have. So I can understand that this brush can be difficult to use, especially for beginners, because it doesn't have so many hair, and so it's difficult to have the right control on the brush and to make the right pressure. But this is actually a brush that enables us to do many different things. I mean, all the details, so all the line works to make the details on our paintings or to outline the elements of our painting, but also to write, so to do all the writings, and also if any of you have already painted one of my hedgehogs, you probably know that I use this brush to paint all the little spines of the hedgehog. And so yeah, I mean, when we understand the pressure that we need to do on the brush, we have control of the brush. So let's see together how to use it. Alright, so let's start talking about the liner brush. We can have different types and different sizes of liners. First of all, we can have short hair liners, but these are not really my favorite ones because I'm not really comfortable in using them, so I don't have that many. And then we have long hair liners, and here I have many sizes. So these two, for example, are a little bit bigger. And then we can have unusual liners like this one. This is a liner by Dynasty Brush, and it's called Reservoir. And I said it's unusual because it's a little unconventional. It has this kind of reservoir here, and this enables you to use your liner for a long time, so you don't have to reload your brush every time. The only thing is that the smallest size is number 2, so it's perfect, but if you need to do like quite thick lines. And then there are my favorite ones that are liners with really long hair and really thin liners. For example, these two are really my favorite liners. I have been painting for many years, and I have been trying so many liners, but when I found these two, then I stopped looking for other liners. And these two are always by Dynasty, and this is the black gold line, and these two are the 10-0 and 20-0 liner. And I have to tell you, I really love them. I basically use these two liners for everything. So the only exception is when I want to do really thick lines, and then I use this one. The liner, in my opinion, is one of the most important brushes that we need to use, and it's a brush that can be a little tricky and challenging because it has very few hair and they are also a little long. But if we learn how to use it properly, then we can do so many different things. For example, this is one of my latest Christmas designs, and this is a design that I taught for a class with students from the United States, and I used the liner for so many different things. For example, here for the hair, the mustache, and the beard of the Santa Claus, the decoration of the stockings, or also the pine twigs and needles, the decoration of the Christmas tree or the snowman scarf, but also for the lettering. So all done with the liner. With the liner we can do other types of hair. For example, this witch, she has curly hair, so we can do like straight hair or messy hair. We can also do wood grains, or also other details like this hedgehog. So as you can see, a liner enables us to do many different things, and if we learn how to use it properly, we can paint many different things always with the same brush. Alright, so let's start with the practice. And two of the most important things when using the liner brush are how we prepare the brush and how much we press on the brush. Because regarding the preparation, the most important thing is to find the right balance between the water and the paint. Because if we don't add water to our paint, what happens is that we won't be able to write with our liner. So for example, if I do a line here and I don't have enough water on my brush, what happens is that I make a line, but my liner doesn't write properly. On the other hand, if I add too much water and I have like a watercolor consistency, what happens is that I make a line and my liner goes really well, but what happens is that when the paint dries, then I'm not gonna be able to see anything. So I would have to go over my line, but it's really difficult to go exactly over the line I did previously. So the most important thing when preparing the brush is finding the right balance between paint and water. So what I do is I add some water to my paint, and I don't usually tend to go for an inky consistency. That's too much for me. I always think about yogurt when I'm doing this. The yogurt that you can drink, that's the right balance for me. So you can practice and try to find what works for you. So when I get to this point, what I do is I twist the brush like this because I want to have a sharp point. So I do it again. I twist the brush so I have a nice tip. And another important thing is the pressure that we do on our brush. So for example, if I want to do thin lines, I will apply less pressure. So I'm gonna stay very light on my brush. And of course, I need to reload my brush quite frequently. Like this. While if I want to do thick lines, what I have to do is I just need to press more. Like this. So you can press and have thick lines like this one, or you can stay light and have thinner lines. It just depends on what you want to do. And another thing that you can do with your liner are kind of swirls decoration. And here again you can press less or more according to what you want to do. So here, for example, I can press a lot, and then when I get to this point I release my pressure. See, I didn't have enough water, so my liner is not running. And here I press again. Another thing that for me is important to do with the liner brush are the letterings, because you might be thinking that there are many different stencils out there with different letterings and different beautiful fonts, and this is great. I also use stencils sometimes, but for me it's important that my students learn how to paint the letterings with the liner brush, because here, for example, we have this size, but maybe another time we need the same lettering but bigger or smaller, and so we have to look for another stencil. But if we learn how to do letterings with a liner brush, we can just paint any lettering regardless of the size that we need at that time. And also another reason is that when you have lettering that are very thin, for example, if I do this, it's very difficult to find a stencil that has such a thin line. And also, as we did here, with the liner brush we can give movement to our lettering according to the pressure that we do on our brush. So see that we can have thin line or thick lines. But also with the liner brush, as I mentioned before, we can do like curly hair like this. We can do twigs or branches, and we can do them straight or kind of wavy like this. We can do, pine needles. So, see, we can do so many different things with just one brush. The only thing is that we need to learn how to use it properly, and that's it. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that I was able to give you the right tips and tricks to use the liner brush. If you have any comments or if you have any questions, you can write in the comments below, or you can also follow me and contact me through the social media. You can find all my designs on my website and also on my new Etsy store. And if you haven't done that yet, and if you want to be always updated with the videos, you can subscribe to the channel. So bye for now, and I'll see you next time. Ciao!